Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SteelBlue Roll Call, your destination for enlightening discussions with those making waves in the door industry. Today is truly a special occasion as we have not one but four members from the SteelBlue leadership team joining us for this episode. Together, they steer the ship that is SteelBlue, navigating the challenges and celebrating the victories that come our way. First, we have Rich Saginaw, our CEO. Rich brings a wealth of manufacturing experience to the table and is passionate about leading and growing our business, consistently making key decisions that drive our success. Then we have Richard Dodson, our CFO. Richard's experience with startups give him a unique perspective on our financial growth and stability, a crucial aspect of our evolution. Joining them is Brett Barber, our Chief Commercial Officer. Brett's knowledge of new product development, coupled with his strategic sales acumen, allows us to continue taking market share with our quality roll-up door and hallway systems. We also have Bray Allen, our Chief Operating Officer. Bray's expertise in the door industry and his commitment to innovation and safety are pillars of our operational success. Together, these leaders form a formidable team, driving our company to reach new heights and consistently deliver the quality products and services our customers have come to expect from SteelBlue. Their combined insights today will offer a unique look into the inner workings of SteelBlue, discussing our achievements, challenges, future prospects, safety measures, and the exciting journey to our new facility. So without further ado, let's dive into our conversation with Rich Saginaw, Richard Dodson, Brett Barber, and Bray Allen. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Rich, as someone with a lot of manufacturing experience, what are some of the key factors that have contributed to SteelBlue's growth in the first half of this year?
Hey, Jared, I think what's been most rewarding for me is seeing our team gel rapidly around the mission and execution of great customer service. And while delivering quality products and services to the market has been a big part of our success, the biggest asset and engine to our company and our accelerated growth has been our people. Their industry knowledge and experience and their passion for winning. It's what fuels our growth, whether we're on the production floor or through project management or customer-focused sales. Throughout the entire organization, we're always trying to do better than we did yesterday and pursuing what's best for our customers and our company. And additionally, we obviously can't thank our customers and vendor partners enough. They're the ones that believe in our product and our delivery and our vision for the company. Their continued support and dedication is a fundamental reason why SteelBlue has become what it has to do today.
Absolutely. It's a team effort. And what are some of those strategies that have really been most successful in retaining our talented employees, even through the move to the new facility?
Yeah, I'll answer that, Jared. One is communication. We have really put a significant focus on retaining employees. We have a great benefits package for them. We have a great retirement package for them. We have incentive plans for all employees, everybody, top down. So it's a win-win relationship. But we're constantly in communication of where we're at, where we're going, and how they can play into that success.
Yeah, absolutely. And switching over to Brett as well, can you share with us some of your memorable moments or maybe some unexpected outcomes from the trade shows this year, from the sales team in general?
Yeah, absolutely, Jared. Really, I think it's just been the overwhelming support from some existing clients that we had prior to coming online. And basically all of the support that's come from folks that didn't know who SteelBlue was and coming on board to see what products and services we have to offer that are different from others in the market. And quite honestly, the amount of success we've had just from being present at those shows and the amount of projects we've been awarded as a result of being there.
And this year's really been a year of overcoming challenges for your leadership team. And Richard, transitioning to a new ERP system, that's quite a daunting task. Could you elaborate on some of the challenges that you faced during the process and how you guys are hurdling them?
Sure. One, it's brand new. So we're new, it's brand new system. So the number of touches, decisions, and processes that we have to put in place, it impacts every single individual in the company. The number of employees equals the number of touches and the number of decisions and processes. So it's a lot. We learn from our mistakes. We trust and verify the information. We are constantly in a training mode as the system is new and the processes are new. We adapt when they don't work quickly, so we can be agile. But it's just overwhelming, just the communication that we provide the team. So communication, a lot of training, a lot of trial and error, a lot of decisions, and rapidly changing when it doesn't work.
Absolutely. Got to stay flexible. And Rich, growing too fast can sometimes have some really unintended consequences. And maybe can you talk about some of the struggles associated with the rapid growth that you guys have seen? I think everyone, including myself, likes to talk about how much you guys have grown over the past year or even longer than that. And how have you been navigating the team during this time?
Sure. We were just starting the company. Our best laid plans were obviously some of them did happen the way we had hoped. I think when you look at how much success we've had over the last 18 months, the challenges that we've experienced are really not much different than any other startup or new company. But I think our rapid growth has made those challenges perhaps larger or more complex, or may have manifested themselves sooner than we've anticipated in our life cycle. And that's been a result of tremendous start and really an overwhelming market acceptance. Certainly our capacity was limited early. Thankfully, we aligned ourselves with some great partners to help us get through and deliver the products and services we wanted to right out of the gate. Now that we have that new equipment in place, new challenges arise every day, and they will continue to do so, at least in the short term. And as we get, to be more strategic, we're going to need more space, we're going to need more products, need more people, need more, right? So I think when you look back, we'd rather have those challenges than of growing too fast than obviously the opposite. And I think every expectation will provide us new challenges, but I think that's where the biggest challenge, I think for all of us as leaders, not only myself, but is managing the team without question has been probably the hardest. I think we all struggle as leaders with the expectations of ourselves and our team members in driving the results we all want to achieve. We all want to do more, and sometimes we need to realize we do have limitations. We're not always in the position to execute right now or deliver what we know we can or at the very moment, but communicate that we'll get there. I believe the old adage is Rome wasn't built in a day, and that's truly for any new business, especially one that's very successful and rapidly growing as we are. But when you have a group of passionate and dedicated people, getting everyone aligned and focused on the larger goals can be a unique challenge. And when you're growing, and certainly it can be a distraction as you're trying to get the day-to-day activities moving forward. During periods of rapid growth, the landscape is constantly changing. Things are always evolving, and there are many irons in the fire, as these guys probably will attest to, departmentally and cross-functionally. We're trying to emphasize and focus on the challenges that will move the needle and have the biggest impact moving forward, communicating, collaborating on the best resolution. And as long as we're winning, we're moving forward. I think we're beginning to start to turn the corner on the rapid growth challenges, kind of settling into a decent cadence where we can perform and meet our own expectations and focus on the strategic growth objectives coming in the upcoming months.
And when you think of startups, a lot of times people think of the risk that happens when you take on a startup and the failure rate that tends to happen with startups. One of the reasons why startups tend to fail is that there's no product market fit. And that was definitely not the case for SteelBlue. There's absolutely product market fit. And I think that's contributed definitely to your growth that you've seen. And so now that the growth that you have had, Bray, maybe you can talk to us about moving to a new facility. That's also no small feat. And can you walk us through some of the logistical challenges that came up during this process and how you all have addressed those?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for having me. One of the things that I think is paramount in our success of being able to accomplish that, well, started on the front end. Before we started moving our facility, we put the foundational pieces in place with hiring good employees and hiring people, as Rich just kind of commented to, of high energy, goal-oriented individuals. And so our HR coordinator, Leanne, she did a phenomenal job of helping us ramp up our headcount so that we would have good quality people to start our move. By knowing what some of those challenges were, we set a plan in place and then we executed it, right? We negotiated with the owners of the new building so that we could get moved as quickly as possible. The day after the previous tenant vacated the building, our electrical contractor went in that next day and started doing the things that he needed to do to get us able to move in. And then our plant manager, Vic, and his team, they had all the material packed up and ready to move. And Sydney, our director of logistics, she had everything lined up with the trucking companies ready to go and get us moved. And her team worked with the vendors to have us running nonstop, getting things done. And the most difficult challenge, I would say, humorous, but pre-move, the drive to get it done was impeccable from the entire group. And so one of the memorable things for me is I took Matt Smith, our production manager, over, and he saw the new building and how large and vast it was before we got moved in. And he said, "What am I going to do with all this space?" And then he just smiled and smirked and he said, "I guess I'm going to build doors." And they were eager to get moved. And so when we gave them essentially the keys to the new building, man, they took off. It was exciting to see. It was very exciting to see. And again, because of their drive and motivation and desire to achieve and accomplish those goals, they put the things in place that they needed to so that they could be as efficient and fluid with it as possible. And man, they forevermore succeeded with it. So we moved the entire facility in less than a week. And that's a daunting task. And it all came with the preparation of knowing what the need was, setting a plan in place and then executing that plan. I think that's what they pride themselves in, as do we.
Absolutely. And congratulations on that. Just what a feat to
Thank
overcome
you.
for all of you. And looking forward a little bit into the future as well, Brett, what are some of those sales goals that you're excited to tackle for the second half of the year?
Yeah, we obviously set some fairly lofty goals for the entire group when we started out this year. Very pleased to be right on pace with that coming out of the first half of the year. And quite honestly, the sales team, our project services team, everybody that's customer facing, we're all focused on delivering to that target. I will tell you that probably one of the most exciting pieces for us, Jared, in achieving those goals coming forward, we've got some really good product and we got some product improvement and just some process improvement that we're bringing to the product line in general that is really going to accelerate that opportunity for us to achieve the goals that have been set forth. So we're really excited about the second half of this year.
Excited to delve into some of those as well. And just a little bit before that, Richard, what sort of financial goals and strategies have been set forth for the next 6 months as well?
Big ones. First, we're going to be doubling our revenue from our current base. We have reached net income and EBITDA positive, and we will continue that path forward. We are going to be closing our books with a new system. We're closing our books now in 10 days. And so that helps us become a data-driven decision-making company so we can get data out there and make decisions on it. We're also going to be introducing a working capital partner here very shortly. I can't name them now, but very shortly here, within the next 30 to 45 days, we'll be introducing a new working capital partner to our team members.
It's fantastic. We'll be looking forward to that announcement as well. And Rich, from a leadership perspective, what are some of the overall objectives that SteelBlue has in the coming months?
Thanks, Jared. I think the guys have explained it pretty well. I think we'll stay true to really our initial objectives that we had established during our inception and since our startup, and continue that path forward for the next few months and the latter half of 2023. I think we'll continue to evolve our organization in service to our best innovative product we can put out there and the customer service that we want to deliver. Take advantage of the strategic market opportunities that we'll be sharing as time goes on. We're really excited about those opportunities. They're going to form great partnerships and great triads in the different areas of our business, and not only just the construction of storage, but the ancillary as well. And capitalize on the backlog we've built to date and continue to strengthen our customer and vendor partnerships as we continue to grow our company. We want to continue to focus on improving the overall storage project experience, which is one of our original goals, and really outperform the expectations of our customers. We'll continue to focus on the driving of our culture, which we're very proud of, and the work environment that we've created in the plant, and what Ray and his team and Vic and Matt and the leadership team at the plant have done to support the sales goals. And I know Brett's got very high aspirations and drives his team to get the most we can out of the market. We'll also continue to focus on, again, those core values of safety and innovation and collaboration, inclusion and evolution, right? So that we're winning, we're driving financial performance and personal career growth. As our adage and our tag says, we'll strive to build tomorrow today and win together alongside our customers. And certainly looking out even further, we'll most certainly be placing more emphasis on new product development and new markets and manufacturing automation, and taking the next step forward technology-wise to innovate our delivery to the market. And again, all in the name of customer service. So there's lots to be excited about for this second half of the year with the guys. I can't thank them enough, the team, the leadership, our people, as I mentioned to start the conversation, of what they've put into this organization to make it what it is today. From a leadership perspective, it's a bright spot that we can be proud of, and something that for me is worth getting up every day and driving just as hard as those folks. We have great leaders in our organization, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
I'm excited for the next 6 months and to see how things end up at the sort of December, January turnaround. And talking about some of these enhancements, innovations that we've been alluding to. Ray, can you talk about the product enhancements that have been introduced recently, or maybe are you able to share any of the ones that are coming soon that you're excited to talk about? And then how does it benefit the customers as well?
Sure. That's the fun stuff to talk about. What's new, what's exciting, what's around the corner for us. And I will speak for us as SteelBlue, what we're excited about versus what I think is going to generate a lot of excitement in the industry as well. So for us, getting a new piece of equipment in to change the profile of our door curtain to be more in line with the industry standard profile. We've started running that product now, and so it's available in the market. And so that's very exciting for us. It helps us both in the manufacturing side of it to improve our quality and increase our productivity and efficiencies. The other thing that it does that's big for the consumer market is that it gives them options outside of what they're bound by today due to a panel profile. So by having more of an industry standard profile, we become a greater option for them to purchase from in the market. They're no longer stuck with marginal service or marginal quality because of a profile. Now they can get all their needs from SteelBlue and the products that we offer. We have some other things coming up. I got to be honest with you. I'm excited about them. I want to talk about some of them, but I also am led to encourage you to visit our booth at the show coming up in Vegas. You'll get to see some of those new products, right? We want to have an unveiling of some of that. And so we're going to kind of kick you to that, so to speak, and just ask you to support and participate in that. We would gladly welcome. We've increased the size of our booth so that we can have more presence in there. Every show that we've attended thus far, it's been a crowded space because of all the excitement and buzz generated around SteelBlue. And so now we want to make that more accessible for everyone to see the new products, new innovations, new partnerships that you've heard talked about. I will tell you this, it's been a lot of anxiety waiting to get to this level, but when I tell you that it's right on the brink, it is right on the brink. So our new product line is absolutely amazing. Everyone that sees it, from both our competitors to the customers in the fields, they're going to be a little jealous. It's okay to say jealous, right? They'll be a little jealous of how far we've come in such a short amount of time. And so, yeah, I encourage everyone to come and visit us at the show coming up in Las Vegas.
Yeah, wonderful. I guess we'll see everybody in Vegas then.
I sure hope.
Right.
I could definitely speak to the popularity of your booth in Vegas. I remember before the last trade show, I remember standing there with Ashley Harper, your CMO, and she was like, "Oh, just get ready. We're going to get swarmed." And sure enough, they opened those doors and boom, it was showtime, man. Brett's people were all over. It was wonderful. Speaking about the innovation process as well, what is the process behind conceiving and implementing some of the enhancements that you guys have been talking about? How's the customer feedback also play a role in that?
I'll jump in there first. I think one of the key things that help us, and we've talked about this quite a bit throughout the course of our conversation so far, is communication. Brett and his team communicating from the customer level to, hey, let's work on this product. Is there a way to improve? Is there a way to enhance? And then we have a phenomenal engineering group, Brad Astolis and his team. They start taking those ideas, and it's all conceptual at that point. It's just, can we be innovative with this? Can we be innovative with that? And so we start brainstorming collectively. You've got some of the people that you see in this call here, in this presentation here. You've got literally centuries, it seems like, of industry knowledge. So we all collaborate, come together, figure out the best solution. What can we do? What can't we do? And if there's ever a no, we always challenge that and say, why? And we're constantly pushing ourselves and one another to improve on the quality of our product, the serviceability of our product, the speed to the market, anything that we can do, installation friendliness, anything that we can do to improve on that. It all boils down to one of our core values of collaboration. We bring all the decision makers together, all the industry knowledge together. We evaluate and basically tear it all down and see if there's a better way to rebuild it consistently and constantly. So I think that's key to making some of those changes.
Yeah, Jared, if I might add to that, we talk about the collaboration piece. And I think what's key in that is the communication aspect, but just listening to what's being communicated. And we're very fortunate in the fact that we have, I would call them, some very strong alliances, some partnerships in the market. There's the availability we have as being a privately held company and having the talent level that we do on our team, that we can, like Bray said, we can come in and we can modify things. Does it make it easier to install? Does it make it easier for the end user when all the construction's done and the end user is the one left operating the door or doing some maintenance? So all those things that just go along with it, and getting that feedback from our partners, allowing us to listen to the need of what the market is actually saying is required, and just being responsive to that and putting that in play.
Absolutely. And yeah, we've talked about the core values a bit as well and the company culture. Rich, as the CEO, How do you work to instill the company's core values within the team?
It's an interesting question because I think this is something that is really foundational to who we are. Again, we spent a lot of time early on really, I don't know, there's probably a couple, 3, 5 weeks with actually working through all these. But I think I'll repeat them again as I did earlier. But the safety, the collaboration, transparency, inclusion, and evolution. It's really what defines us and what's important to us, not only individually, but as a company. It's what we truly believe in will make us successful. And I think instilling core values within any organization, you really have to believe them yourself to make anybody else adopt them. And I think we use them throughout our town halls, our leadership meetings, our day-to-day conversations. And I think the more we use them, the stickier they become. You must believe in them yourself, right? Until you won't expect anybody else to follow. And I'd like to think that everybody in our company could recite these at fast. Our leaders have done a great job. Vic and Matt and Brad Gilmore, every piece of our organization as a leader is instilled those in our folks. And one of my favorite things is when I go to the plant and have a conversation with one of the shop floor guys or somebody in the office, I ask them, what's the most important core value for you and how do you use it every day, right? So I think if you continue to talk and you continue to communicate, they become sticky and they become part of who you are as an organization. And as I, again, alluded to earlier, I think it's one of the things that has been foundationally a big driver for our success and our winning attitude.
I believe that consistency from the leadership team as well, living the core values, that's really been something that's helped you build this new brand that is SteelBlue from day one, really. And so to everyone, on the call, what are some of the strategies employed to ensure these values are not just really in the handbook? Rich was mentioning it's really lived in the day-to-day by all the employees.
I'll jump in here real quick, Jared. So I think what really drives all of those core values is just praising a team member for a job well done. It can be something small, recognizing that, supporting them in their decision making, helping them see bigger opportunities. I think that's one thing that really helps just instill, who we are and what the culture is. And I would tell you that the culture it becomes organic, right? Like the people that are there, that live it, that understand it, that are in it day to day. There's a lot of times when we're trying to bring a new team member on board and you quickly find out if they really are who they say they are. And the team helps them identify that fairly quickly, right? They weed themselves out very quickly. And then just the last piece I have on that I believe really helps us in the whole culture environment is just our daily engagement with the team members, right? Doesn't matter what your role is. We're engaged as leaders. Our leaders are engaged with their team members. It's top to bottom in this organization and people are engaged and they're valued, and we recognize that, again, at any level, day to day.
And I think that's something that you definitely all exemplify. One of the main core values that gets talked about a lot is safety. And Ray, given your passion for safety, how's this crucial aspect prioritized within the company?
So thanks for asking. That's wildly important to us inside our organization, both from a professional's perspective and in our culture in the day-to-day office and manufacturing facility, both to what we encourage people to do when they're away from work, right? As you've heard throughout this entire conversation here, people are the most important thing to us. Our customers, our employees, our coworkers. It's an honor and a privilege to get to work with the individuals that I'm on this call with. And back to the previous thing, there's not one person on here that hasn't participated in some form or fashion of the manufacturing process. Rich himself, our CEO, that guy's gone out and cut axle pipe and angle and drums and whatever had to be done. Brett put more guidewire strip on than any human being should have to do. He committed and dedicated himself to getting that done. Richard is not a CFO that sits in an office somewhere and just tabulates numbers. He'll go out and help do inventory on the shop floor. He'll count this, he'll duck this out and count it. And as a part of that, we have an opportunity to, again, live that culture, not just preach it. We have an opportunity to live it. And when we're on the shop floor getting things done, we make sure we have on our proper safety equipment. We make sure that we follow the guidelines. We know that we're not supposed to go in an area or handle a part or a piece without this and that in place. And that's wildly important, again, to us, making sure that our employees are safe. I tell my safety guy, and He works for Vic and his team there at the plant. A guy, Shane Jackson. We were blessed to find Shane just on a happenstance, right? We were blessed to that guy just fell in our lap. And he's been an integral part of our organization from the safety aspect. And we laugh about it. And I'm like, he's the most hated guy in the facility. He's a really super cool dude, but he holds a line, right? He holds a standard. And his goal is not to call people out. It's to make sure that everyone goes home the same way they came to work. I can't express the importance of that. In 20 years from now, and I say this lightheartedly, but genuinely too, in 20 years, no one's going to know how much money SteelBlue made in 2023. But I don't want them to have a constant reminder of something tragic that happened to them. So yes, we live, eat, breathe, sleep safety. It is the most important thing for us. And a lot of companies, they look at it at how it impacts the bottom line. And I get it, I understand, but that's not what's important to me. That's not what's important to this team. We want everybody to just be safe. They all have families. They all have people that love them and care about them. We want them to come to work, enjoy their day at work, and go back home and enjoy their time with their family. That only comes through safety. And again, that's not just safe at work. It's wearing your seatbelt on the way to work, wearing your seatbelt on the way home, wearing glasses when you're edging the driveway or around the house. It's not just something that happens at work. It's a lifestyle. And so we encourage people to do that.
That was incredible. Thank you for that, Bray. And also, what were some of those safety measures that have been implemented to ensure the safety of the employees and customers that you felt have been most effective?
So I'll jump in and tell you just right quick some of the things that we do inside the manufacturing facility. We purchase, as you can imagine, we have some heavy equipment and stuff, big machines, manufacturing equipment. And we've taken steps and went above and beyond some of those manufacturer specs and went above and beyond OSHA requirements to ensure safety of our employees, as well as ensuring the quality of our product. So that's some of the things that we've done on the manufacturing process. We've also made some improvements and innovations, again, that you're going to see in Vegas to our product to help make it more user-friendly. As a product is more user-friendly, then it becomes safer. The other part is improving and increasing the longevity of our product so that there is less opportunity for someone to have to handle or deal with something, right? We try to do things right the first time so that no one is exposing themselves to a risk after the fact. Even down to our instructions, we put here's the safety aspects of it, from the color of the bolts that we use on some of our products, essentially saying, don't touch this. Warning labels that we put on our products. We adhere to all the industry standards at a minimum, and then we try to exceed some of that on both our product and our equipment.
Awesome. So we're focusing on you again, Bray. We're talking about the new facility as well. And could you walk us through the process of moving to the new facility? What even prompted the move? And how is it managed? Remember when we talked to Vic and Matt before, they were talking about how it was pretty cramped. And so I can imagine that had something to do with it.
It did. So we went from about a 25,000 square foot facility to 125,000 feet plus, with hopes and aspirations to do even more, right? We're poised and ready to go when the time comes for that. It's definitely a process, as I said earlier, that you have to be prepared for and manage. And our team did a phenomenal job getting everything prepped to relocate. So we took advantage of it in a little different light. So as we were waiting on some of our equipment to be moved while it was in transit, again, as a part of our culture, we took an afternoon in a big empty building and had a wiffle ball home run derby to try to engage our employees. Everybody had worked so hard and so diligently. We gave away some prizes and we brought in snacks and drinks and stuff just to relieve the tension. And so we took advantage of those things. But as much as we had worked to try to get into our original facility, I believe God had a better plan for us. And so ultimately, as hard as we had worked on things that we're trying to do before this, and then again, this just seemed to fall in place the way it should. So it was hard for us to argue that this was the right direction to go. It becomes so seamless that I remember initially Rich and myself and our engineer, we were all just scratching our heads trying to figure out how we get this done. And we were sitting at a table one night looking at a website. We made a phone call the next day. We looked at a building, and the end of that week, we had negotiated a contract. Everybody saw the problem that we were trying to address, and the entire team jumped in and created a solution. It's what we're known for. It's what we do.
Absolutely. And pinging Rich here, what are some of the benefits of the new location for SteelBlue that you've noticed as well?
Having been part of the process since the very beginning and trying to find the place in Kentucky to start with and take advantage of the experience and knowledgeable employees we had there. But obviously the most important is it's large enough to support our growth. As Bray alluded to, it's a 125,000 square foot facility, very in line with our competition. We have the ability to expand in that building as time goes on, which is very exciting, which affords us the ability to look at other, as we talked earlier about different products and potentially different ancillary products to support the storage industry. It's exciting to see everybody's faces that they're tripping over each other in such a small facility. They're breathing and operating freely, and it's very exciting for all of us to see that. It's got some strategic advantages as well. At the end of the day, we can store our product inside, keep it out of the weather, and if there be job delays or whatever there might be, we have the ability to protect our products so we don't have to send replacements and so on and so forth. So I think that's a big advantage and a benefit for us. And lastly, I'll say it's right off the highway. Literally, I don't know, guys, probably 1,000 feet from the exit, the first stoplight, you hang a left and you're right there. It's easy for truck drivers and guys picking material up to get on and off. Easy to find. It's right off a major highway in the middle of the United States. So that's very exciting as well. In support of that kind of customer service and trying to do things better than the competition, we're really excited about the location as well.
That's fantastic. And looking back at the move and everything that went on there, what were some of the lessons that you learned? Any insights that you all could share with other companies that are considering a similar transition?
I'll take this one as an operator, just to start it. As an operator for most of my career, this is where I'm very impressed and excited and proud. Any number of adjectives about the whole entire manufacturing group and the guys that supported them. John Satterfield, who's our Director of Facilities Management, was involved in a lot of the setup and infrastructure work. I think this team planned and they executed. And as Bray alluded to earlier, it took us 7 days to really move the plant in a week. It went pretty seamlessly because we planned that. And when you're moving a plant, timing is never perfect. It's never going to be, especially when you're growing like we have over the last 18 months, but a necessary part of the growth process, right? But you want to try to minimize disruptions and have everything prepared before you begin the process. And you can't really put enough emphasis on picking the right partners and contractors to help you get it to support the process too. It's find those reputable guys that know what they're doing. They're bonded. They follow safety. They know what their expectations are. And I think, again, those guys have done really well by us and we continue to use them even those days. Those are my takeaways from it, just lessons learned from my past. And if you plan to execute well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just wrapping things up here for everybody here, if you could share just a one takeaway piece of advice with our listeners based on your experiences and just getting SteelBlue off the ground to becoming as successful as it has been, what would it be?
I can start on this one. Really, I think it's important to really understand and recognize what's in your control and make decisions based on facts, not emotion. Recognizing the things that are out of your control and understanding that is a huge building block because, again, there's the best laid plans sometimes don't come to fruition. So you have to be willing to accept that, course correct, again, make decisions based on fact, not emotion. And probably the biggest piece of advice I have is just see opportunity in what could be perceived as failure, right? Again, there's a big horizon out there. And if you stay focused on what you set out to do and use building blocks along the way, you'll achieve the success that you set out to achieve.
I think one of the keys for us and what I've been honored and privileged to experience with this group. And again, I'll take the opportunity to thank Rich and Richard and Brett for the opportunity to work with such an amazing group. And I think that part of the thing that has made it successful is we all have a common goal. We all have different approaches. But once we define that common goal, we discuss the most effective way to achieve it. And every one of us realized that not a single one of us could do it by ourselves. And so it's taken every person that is a part of our team. Every one of them attributes to the success. And it's a lot of humility and a lot of acknowledgement of the success of your colleagues that continue the success of our company. I could start from the guy that helps keep the trash up off the floor, Mike Murphy. He wants to be a part of the team, all the way to Sierra, the young lady that handles our scheduling. Her commitment and dedication is impeccable. And we demand that of ourselves. And by demanding that of ourselves, that breeds into that culture. We have people calling us every day saying, hey, do you have a spot for me at SteelBlue? You don't just hope for that. When you create that culture, which is what we have here, it's astonishing at what can be accomplished. And again, I think that knowing that we all need one another and depend on one another to do their part, and we do our part, we'll conquer this thing. We will be, in my opinion, right? I've been doing this a long time. I'm excited to see SteelBlue be the household name in the storage industry. And I think we all have that dedication and commitment to seeing that, and we won't settle for anything less.
You had a couple things here. Startup, it's going to be people, it's going to be process, it's going to be platform. It's more than that. You got to be emotionally stable. You got to be able to grind. Anybody tells you that a startup is easy, has never done a startup. It's hard. So you got to create that emotional stability to be able to grind when the grind is calling for. You got to expect disappointments and setback. A lot of companies look at disappointments and setback as failure. We look at it as a learning exercise, and we learn from it, and we push forward and we move forward. Setting up infrastructure is extremely important. It's at the plant, it's the systems, it's your company's infrastructure. But the most important one is you got to have people who want to win. People that will take on your values, who have a winning approach to life and to their professional careers. People who want to win drive companies forward. And we have a lot of people who are winners in this company.
Sure do.
And I think I'll just sum, because everybody touched on, I think probably the biggest takeaway for me is never underestimating the power of the talented people and their ability to contribute. That's been the most humbling piece for me, starting the company called 2.5 years ago now. And to Richard's point, it's not easy and it's not for everybody. And we struggled with that early on, right? The guys that were pretty talented in some areas, and we've made some hiccups along the way on it. But it's one of the toughest challenges you'll face in your career if you ever won. And for as successful as we've all been in our careers prior to SteelBlue, we had to learn our lessons some of the hard way. There's lots that'll go right and there's lots that'll go wrong. But I think Bill Gates said it once back in the late 90s or early 2000s. If you put like-minded individuals together with the same vision and same goals and same objectives, there's nothing more fun than winning every day. And I drove their company to the success that they have. And I think those kind of leaders recognize without the right talent, the probability of success drops exponentially. Whether it's John Power, who has 30 years of IT experience and can understand manufacturing and ERP and build a system that is going to launch us into the stratosphere, or you got a seasoned CFO or a brilliant marketing leader that can really bridge the gap to the ever-changing landscape. We have a saying here that we've adopted: winning equals AMC plus U. And winning means attitude, motivation, commitment, and urgency. And in the face of challenge, when you can pull from that and find a way to win or find a way to get to the next hurdle, like Brett's point, and learning something from it, if you have the right people to drive through those challenges, it's paramount to success. And when you do have those successes, it is most rewarding. As a team, I think we experience when we see people smile, and we see people win, that they wipe their brow and they fought through the challenge and they continue to do what's right for the company and the customer. That's the biggest part I take away up to this point. And I'm sure we'll succeed in many other ways down the road, but what we've accomplished in the last 18 months is nothing short of spectacular. I think we've beat our own expectations, even if we wouldn't admit it. But we've done a really good job of pulling a very talented team together that allows us to drive forward every day. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm very proud of this team and what they've accomplished, and I'm privileged to come work for them every day.
That's fantastic. And yeah, thank you so much, Bray, Rich, Brett, Richard, for joining us today. Really appreciate your guys' time. Congratulations on the success, but the job's not done yet. Excited for the years ahead. So congratulations, and we're just going to keep this thing going. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jared.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.